Hey everyone, Dan from the Nostalgia Test podcast, and you just made it to episode 90, part 3 of the epic wrestling episodes. This is how you start 2023, everyone. Best podcast on the planet, best podcast ever. Shout out to Manny, shout out to Billy for being on this journey, this 3-part crazy episode. This is where we get into the best matches and best overall wrestler. Hope you're ready. Grab your pens, grab your pencils, grab whatever you do when you write things down. I don't know, limousine driving, kiss stealing, Ric Flairing, The Rockin', Stone Cold Steve Austin. We're here. We're not going anywhere. What's that sound?
Holy nostalgia.
Oh, it's the Nostalgia Test podcast.
Welcome to the Nostalgia Test podcast, the show where two longtime friends put their mainstream pop culture past to the ultimate test, the Nostalgia Test.
Oh, you definitely should, bro.
People were like, did you just stun the guy? I was like, yes, we did a cold stun.
Goddamn right it
Just
did.
start stunning
That's right.
people.
All right, man.
I think let's hit up this list of matches. I mean, like,
Matches is
there's a
crazy.
ton of matches on this. And,
So, like,
I mean, should we just go from the first
I
one
think we
down?
should.
Yeah, why don't we just go down the list, and if we've watched it, say if it passes the test for
Okay.
us.
Okay.
So, first one is
Shane
Shane versus
versus-
Kurt Angle, King of the Ring,
Oh, pfft.
June 24th.
100% pass.
100% passes the test.
I would say, I agree. Yeah, I watched that
Yeah.
today. That
I
was
watched
ridiculous.
it, and like
Yeah.
I've seen Behind the Mat. So this is one I have seen, Billy, a documentary on this.
Nice. I have not
So I've
seen this
a
one.
documentary called Behind the Mat on this specific match where
Oh,
Shane
wow.
and Kurt Angle talk about it. It is crazy. Some people blame that the glass, when it doesn't shatter, that somebody didn't put breakable glass.
Oh,
And
Jesus.
That's why it didn't break on impact. And then somebody Kurt was like, I can't do it anymore. I think I broke my neck. Because Kurt hurt himself.
Oh, my God.
And he's like,
Oh, that's
and he's
right.
like, and Shane whispers to him, like, put me through it. Kurt had to find a way to do it and put him through both of them.
Oh, my
Both of
God.
them. You have to watch the Behind the Mat on this match.
Oh, my
'Cause
God.
you're thinking too, like, it's Shane McMahon is the owner's son, doesn't need to put himself
Yeah.
through this,
No.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
but yet shows
He's a crazy
and, like,
person.
he had some great matches and some
Oh,
some
yeah.
insane, death-defying aerials.
It's so
insane.
odd that he was. Remember the Greenwich Village posse?
The Greenwich Village. Of course I do.
Yeah, it was Shane McMahon. First
Yep.
of all, I remember going to an event and standing with a sign that said the Greenwich Village posse, totally spelled Greenwich wrong. And was holding that sign with like John Randazzo, maybe? I don't know. A
Oh,
bunch of
God,
other guys.
so
You were
random,
there, Billy,
dude.
probably and stuff.
Yeah,
But
that
it
sounds
was-
right.
Yeah, yeah. It was weird that he went from something so gimmicky
Did you guys
to
edit a
literally.
video for Joe?
Yeah, his vice presidential campaign. Oh, yes, we
it was the
did.
Greenwich Village promo.
Yeah, it was kind of absurd. Yeah. Yeah, and then I spelled, instead of Italian stallion, I spelled Italian Stallone on a shirt.
Yeah,
we
look,
did that.
I want to apologize to all of Mineola for that.
Do
because,
not
like,
apologize.
That
for
reign
anything,
of terror.
That was the Attitude Era. It slipped in.
That was the
I was
attitude
also
era.
going through, like, I was like going into every class being like, hey, can I show the class a video real quick? Like, one point a teacher's like, dude, take this out. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah, that was
That
fun.
was a great promo. You want to talk about one of the best marketings of all time? And then when Joe
Yeah.
Joe actually had to be vice president.
He did nothing.
Exactly.
Oh,
Par for the
God.
course.
All right. So that passed.
all
Oh,
right,
that was
so
fun, though, man.
That was a good
Off-
tangent.
And that's a nostalgia test tangent.
Yeah.
One day we'll put
Yeah, I agree
Mineola
with
High
this.
School
Yeah.
to the test.
All right.
Oh, do not.
All right. The next one.
Mankind versus Undertaker, Hell in the Cell.
Ooh.
Yes. 1000%
Bro, I
passes.
still
That fall
I
alone,
still
bro.
remember where I was where I watched this match and who I was with. I was at Billy's house. My cousin from Canada, Richard, who does a great Stone Cold impression and a couple others. We used to wrestle all the time when I went to Canada. He came that day. We went crazy when that drop happened. That drop is insane, dude. How did he not die? And that's what you were saying.
It's a good question.
Billy, you were saying this, like, he's not a great wrestler. He's just a great, stunt
punching bag.
Yeah. And then you had
100%.
He just started walking around, and like Undertaker had to follow him. He's like, what is he doing?
And the Undertaker had a broken foot apparently during that, and he's like, didn't know how he was going to get up on the cell. And when he did, he's like, and you start seeing the cell just break. I'm like,
oh yeah.
But he got up on the cell with Shawn Michaels, and that shit didn't happen when he did that Hell in the Cell.
It's crazy. It's crazy. They said that the
nuts,
cell was not ready for that. They didn't know they were going to go on the
yeah, top. I remember I saw that's I saw like maybe it was behind the
mat.
Beyond the mat, like you were talking about, that I saw where they're talking about that match, and they were like, "Yeah, dude, like he was not supposed to stand. They were not both supposed to stand on top of it. We did not expect that."
No, you're talking about like Jesus two, like 300, 400 pound men, like
it's crazy
standing on top of this thing. It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean when he chokeslammed him through the cell, and you watched his body. I mean, yes, when he threw him off the top, that was insane. I've never seen anything like that, but. Yeah. To me, one of the crazier parts was when he chokeslammed him and his body fell. It looked like a bag of laundry.
First of all, when his body fell,
it was just ridiculous.
Think about I think he passed out during it.
He
didn't the stretcher come? Didn't the stretcher come pick him up?
Twice.
Somebody said you have to go back.
Yeah, and then didn't he come back out?
Finish the match.
First time when he threw him off the top, they took him off and then he went back up. And then at the end, they tried to take him out on a stretcher. He's like, I'm not going out on a stretcher twice. And he walked back.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. Like ridiculous. Of course, that match was out of hand. So Rock versus Stone Cold were WrestleMania 17.
Well, wait. So that passed the test, we're saying. The Mankind one.
Oh,
Mankind.
Yeah. 100. Yeah, 100%. And I think this one does
Rock
too.
versus Stone Cold, WrestleMania 17 did so much because it showed that they both could bleed. He's not a machine. He's not a machine.
He's a man.
So, like, they both crack their...
Great Rocky IV reference.
They both crack their heads and then just put on a great show. Like...
an unbelievable
Was
match.
that their first match against each other or second?
First. The second was 19.
No, that
would be the
last
second one.
Oh, they did more than two. My bad then.
I believe they had 3.
I've not seen, unless 17 is the second one, I've only seen 17 and 19.
I thought it was 3.
Yeah,
I might be wrong. I might be talking out of school. I'm sure I'll be destroyed. But anyways, this was a fantastic match. This is where Stone Cold tried to go heel, or McMahon tried to make him go heel, and I think it was just to kind of like someone had to take a break.
Yeah, and the fact that McMahon came out in like pajamas.
He got his ass kicked by his son before that. And the best,
amazing.
You need to watch, this is not on the list, but the last one of Stone Cold and The Rock, when The Rock stuns him 3 times.
It was great.
Dude, Jerry Lawler talking about Hollywood water and Hollywood this and Hollywood that, making fun of The Rock about Hollywood is hilarious.
It's great.
Hilarious.
It is. I watched that today too. It's so good, dude.
Good. They're just
the match is great. The commentary's right there
phenomenal. Too. JR and him were just talking, so like JR's trying to talk about how great Stone Cold is, and Jerry is just making fun of The Rock and like $1 Million Man, and, you know. But they all. What's so great about both of these wrestlers too is that they do so many homages to like other wrestlers. Like the suplex happened in and then and like Stone Cold did like the $1 Million Dream in it. Yeah,
did he? I didn't see that.
Goes back
That's
to the
crazy.
part when he used to be the ringmaster and he used to come along with $1 Million Man. Like it was
weird.
So weird that he was a part of that.
And then The Rock sharpshootered Stone Cold, which brings back to even Stone Cold.
Yes, I do remember that
match with Bret Hart.
Where
he didn't give up; he just passed out or something.
Well, was it. I can't remember. Was it in the first one? Or was it only in the second one where they basically do each other's moves to them?
I think it's the first one. Yes,
they definitely do in the second one. I couldn't remember if it happened in the first one too.
The Rock stunned Stone Cold in WrestleMania 17, and Stone Cold rock bottomed him in the same match.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, they did it multiple times in the next one. It was awesome.
They were playing to the crowd. It was phenomenal. This definitely passes the test.
Such a great match. And that's a classic match. That to me is like what wrestling's all about. Like those.
100%.
First of all, the first 3 matches we just named are exactly why that era is the best era.
And like at the end of this, I want to say which one we think is the best match of all time. But whatever. Tag team ladder match.
Sick.
Same WrestleMania. And this is why WrestleMania is a phenomenal
I know. Last time we talked about how great WrestleMania was.
Okay, this is why.
And it was you're right.
We're talking about same WrestleMania. It was probably one of the best WrestleManias of all time, in my opinion. WrestleMania 17. Dudley Boys, Hardy Boys, and Edge and Christian. Like, what? You got 6 of the best, like, arguably the best, 3 of the best, like, tag teams we saw in our generation. And they do the ladder match. And it is not just the Hardy Boys going crazy. All of them went nuts. All of them.
Because Stone Cold, the Dudley Boys were amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and they're nuts.
You're going, well, how is this going to be? You got the high-flying Hardy Boys. And, like, Christian Edge definitely could do, like, acrobatic things. But, like, the Dudley Boys.
Dude, the spear off the ladder?
It was crazy, dude. It was crazy.
It was nuts, dude.
That's when you were like, this is real. This shit is real. Like,
whether or not it's real, like these people are getting fucked up.
Like, stop telling me, okay, I get it. The stories aren't real, but these people are going at it. Like they're fighting like fake fighting, but they're still like bodies are crushing into each other. Muscles are like hurting each other. This is crazy.
100%, dude.
It passes in nostalgia. 100%.
I agree.
So now we're getting into WrestleMania 8, Hulk Hogan and Sid Justice, 1992. Now, I put this on the list. The reason I put it there is because it was a match that I remember from as a kid. It was maybe one of the first, not one of the first WrestleManias I've seen, maybe, but maybe the one that I remember when I was a kid from, right?
Okay.
This match sucked. I rewatched it and it was just like Sid Justice, like, I don't know, like applying a pressure point to the top of Hulk Hogan's neck the whole time, and then
they do the stupid grip hands crap.
God, that was like the biggest thing in the golden era. Is like the strongman test.
Come on,
playing Mercy,
and then
that's all they were doing.
Like the classic Hulk Hogan thing is like when they slapped each other in the chests, and they're like, no, shake his head,
he's like,
yeah.
And then he starts vibrating with the crowd and like stands up and he shakes.
In any world,
every match.
Any world where Hulk Hogan could beat up this man, no way. Sid Justice was a freak of nature.
Dude, Sid Justice.
Like Hogan was muscular and this guy was like twice as big.
Sid Justice was like crazy looking.
Yeah.
And they call him Psycho Sid.
And after that, he became Psycho Sid too. Yeah,
that match.
And his music was weird at that point.
It's a bad and then the Warrior comes in and saves him at the end. Like you have that whole stupid narrative.
Because Papa Shango jumped him. Like he came in out of nowhere.
It was really dumb. Yeah, I rewatched that today. It's not a good match.
No, and it's like I don't care. I know people can be like, but that's the golden era, blah blah. It's just like we don't have to keep liking these things. It's okay. It can be nostalgic. Bring that rivalry
back. I don't know if you remember, but they made Sid Justice was the honorary guest referee during the Iraq match we were talking about last episode with Hulk Hogan and Warrior versus Mustafa. Slaughter and the other guy, Justice was the honorary referee in that match because they kept trying to bring that shit back, and it's just I watched it and I was like, I'm sure I loved it when I was fucking 6, you know. And I was like, this ain't flying anymore.
That does not pass the test. I don't even think he's nostalgic anymore.
Not at all.
No,
I agree. I was like, this is kind of boring.
Yeah,
dude, the golden era ones
I
are
think
kind
you're
of
right.
boring. You have to really
and they're long.
You have to fish really hard to find like a really good like match. Like you're like, oh shit. Like there was definitely like great moments, like Andre the Giant being slammed by Hulk Hogan. But like
Which, whatever, but that took an hour to get to,
saying,
possibly.
There was a lot of pressure points. There was a lot of actual, just we don't know what to do. This is why this era is terrible. Era is bad. There's this one article where they put, this is, number out of 7. I think it was, number 5, 5 worst. They put the golden era.
I think it's all anything that seems good is just because it's nostalgic. That's all it is.
It's hilarious.
And that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of it straight up sucks, but anything that you have good memories about is just nostalgic. Because when you watch it, I loved Hulk Hogan growing up, man. I watched a bunch of Hulk Hogan matches this week in prep for this. They are all boring as shit. They are not good.
And that's the thing that you have to try to remember is why do people like him? That was because he wasn't a good wrestler. He was just a good entertainer.
He had a good image,
Yeah,
good
the best.
image.
Yeah.
I am a real American. He's the wholesome all-American dude. I mean, the best actual wrestling match that he's in is in fucking Rocky 3 when he fights Rocky as Thunderlips.
or in No Holds Barred.
So Hulk Hogan versus Hulk Hogan versus Sid Justice.
Not even nostalgic. I didn't even care.
Take it off the list.
No.
All right, Bret.
Now
Garbage.
this next
Bret
match
Hart
though.
versus Roddy Piper.
WrestleMania 8 Intercontinental Championship match.
What year? Can we get the year on this? Because I want to know if this was the New Generation era or the Golden. Because
I'm gonna guess. If I had to guess, I'm guessing this is 89.
So this is
but
still
it could
kind
be
of
off.
golden. So Bret Hart is still in the Golden era. He's
WrestleMania 8 was 1992.
okay. So did someone say that this is the beginning of the New Generation?
It was the same WrestleMania that the last match was in.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I didn't get to watch this. Dan, did you watch it?
Yes.
What did you think?
I watched it too.
What did you guys think?
Here's the thing.
Because you're talking about a technician versus Roddy Piper.
But Roddy Piper is fun to watch because he's a lunatic.
Yeah.
But it was not exactly how I remembered it. Bret Hart definitely worked really hard to kind of keep that match going. Roddy Piper sold everything, was really interesting, and it ended on a good note, whatever. I'm not going to say it passes. I do think to me, it was a nostalgic match to watch because I do remember that match very vividly. Not vividly, obviously, but I do remember that rivalry between Piper and Bret Hart.
I'm with you, man. I watched it and it was a bunch of back and forth chest slapping, and then somehow Bret Hart gets cut open, but and then at the end, you said, where Piper puts the belt on him and ends the rivalry. That's why it's nostalgic because I remember that shit. Fuck, it's over. But yeah, the match itself done. No way.
Yeah, but it's weird. It was in the same WrestleMania as the Hogan match, and the Hogan match seemed like a whole other era.
Yeah,
it was not good.
Okay, so we're saying this stays nostalgic. It doesn't pass the test.
I'm saying it's nostalgic.
Okay. I agree.
So next one, Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior versus
this is
the
so
champions
hard.
versus champions. I remember watching this with Billy, I believe. I don't know if we watched it on pay-per-view or we watched this on tape.
We had a video. It may have been
tape. I think we rented this.
Yes.
That sounds
Remember
right.
that shit? You rent it.
So I want to say, so I haven't seen it in a while. Okay.
Oh, did you watch it today?
No. But I'll tell you first, and we haven't done this in this part 1 and part 2. Is remember I usually ask your first instinct or your first thoughts of this. And I remember as a kid, this was crazy because you had two non-heels fighting each other during an era where only heels didn't fight heels and good guys didn't fight good guys. So this was crazy to see this, that this was going to happen.
Yeah.
And I remember how intense it was. And I remember liking it because of the fact that it was two of my favorite wrestlers going against each other. And then I also do remember that they did that stupid strength test thing.
Of course they did.
For a long time.
Ever.
Yeah, it was
Ultimate
3
Warrior,
minutes.
and him and everybody. This was kind of like Cold Stone. Stone Cold and The Rock. At that time, it's the two champions that everybody likes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make everybody happy. and sad at the same time. So it can't be too bad.
Yeah.
But guarantee you, Hulk Hogan did not want to lose this match. And he didn't want to lose it. He didn't want to lose it badly. So so the Warrior couldn't do much. And was the Warrior even a good wrestler?
No.
No, he's a crazy person.
Yeah, he was a steroided up person who like just goes and his move was a gorilla press. That was his move.
He was no match for Hogan's big boot.
Yeah. or the elbow, right? Who flew off? Oh, that was Macho Man.
Macho Man
flew off the elbow.
Yeah.
Whose music was
Hogan
a graduation song.
The big boot to the face or a leg drop.
Yeah.
Like
I don't want
to the thing and awkwardly
the Game Boy game, the wrestling Game Boy game was fucking awesome.
Oh, that was the shit. Yeah,
that was awesome.
100%.
Now I rewatched this whole match today.
Yeah, I watched it recently too. What are your thoughts, Pico?
I
agree.
So boring, and
very boring.
And then like you're just you're fast forwarding, waiting for something to happen, and then like I guess something does, and then like there's a gorilla press, and then the Ultimate Warrior wins.
Yeah, I agree with you. To me, it's just nostalgic. Like for everything you said, I agree with 1,000% of like what it meant at the time is how I feel about it. But if you watch it again now, like I was fucking amped to sit down and watch it, and I was like, man, this kind of sucked. So
yeah, you can't even enjoy it. It's hard to enjoy
because you expect more. Exactly. But it's still like, all right, it's still nostalgic to me at least. It's still nostalgic.
I think
it's more nostalgic than the it's nostalgic because it's the Ultimate Warrior.
Exactly.
The Hogan Sid Justice match is
that's just garbage. Yeah,
like we're talking about. We keep bringing up Ultimate Warrior. Like, why did we like him as a kid? Like,
he's crazy.
He's crazy,
but like he just jumped around a lot. Like he didn't actually
he
wrestle.
Shook the ropes. Yeah.
And was he the?
No,
was he
none of them
Tornado?
wrestled.
He looked like Tornado. And how many Warriors was there?
Remember, he would do the thing where he was like, "Oh,
yeah."
He was ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, and he had a mask, and everybody liked to like wear face paint.
No, he didn't. He just painted stuff on his face.
Warriors.
Oh, and he had like crazy hair.
Like, what made him?
And that was it. Nothing.
Steroids.
Macho Man's entrance music was terrible.
Oh, with the pomp and circumstance.
I hated.
I feel like I was graduating.
Yeah, I hated his.
It didn't match him.
Everyone was wearing neon, but Hogan was wearing yellow, just straight up Bumblebee yellow, and everyone else was
Why
like
was Hogan the face of this
on
place?
Speed.
I guess because he was the only one that wasn't that crazy. Because everybody else was nuts.
He's the only one that could talk like a person. Macho Man could talk, but Hogan like. His music.
Hogan actually acted in movies and is not like totally terrible. Like
Bonesaw's ready.
Do you ever? What was that show that he used to be in where they like raced a speedboat around in Disney World? Like, remember that?
Shit.
Thunder in Paradise.
Yes.
Is that it?
Dude,
that show is.
He was also
we gotta
a
do
rapper.
that show.
Did you know he has a rap album?
Oh,
Macho Man.
Dude.
I know Macho Man does. Oh yeah, I thought you were talking about Hogan. I was like, oh yeah.
But Hogan was in.
You should watch the
Suburban Commando.
That movie was good.
With the Undertaker, and Mr. Nanny.
But there is a scene in Mr. Nanny, if you watch the beginning of it, where someone's throwing a dog into the water, into like the.
That was fine in the 80s, dude. No one cared.
And it looked like they were throwing the dog away. It wasn't even like let's play.
What's his name from Roadhouse takes the dude's jugular out of his throat.
Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
and
Jake
then at the
Gyllenhaal
end
is not going
is
to
naked.
do. He's not going to do it.
Oh, fuck
There's
that.
no way they're going to put that in that movie.
No, here's the thing. I want everyone that's listening to this podcast right now to just start posting that Jake Gyllenhaal, that Roadhouse should never get rebooted. Because if it does, we're gonna do episodes until they pull that from the theater, because he is not my Dalton.
No.
At all.
Hashtag not my Dalton. It's coming up. That's
if
the
they
next
make
shirt.
that,
not my Dalton.
Hashtag not my Dalton.
If they actually make that and it comes out, we're all going to have to subject ourselves to watching it and do an episode where we just beat the ever-loving shit out of that movie about how fucking.
Here's the worst part: if we did watch it, also we get there and it's like,
if it's great,
and we're all silent.
If it's great,
and we're like, fuck it. It was good, but I doubt it. Like, it can't be.
No, it's gonna be like the Point Break remake, which was like a top 3 all-time bad movie I've ever watched.
They're all gonna have to wear underwear. They're gonna have to,
There's
who's
no
the musician they're gonna
way
get?
Jake Gyllenhaal is gonna rip up that guy's throat at the end. Like, Patrick
They're not doing this
Swayze
movie.
took the guy's Adam's apple and went, okay.
Yeah. It's great.
Then in the next scene was diving naked into a lake.
Do you know who I
a
am?
blind
I'm the
guy
reason that J.C. Penney's here. Oh God! I saw a bumper sticker that had that where I was gonna buy it, and I was like, "No one's gonna understand it except me."
Oh my God, that was a good one. That was a good tangent.
All right, so what's the next match? What do we up next?
All right, so Ultimate Warrior and Hogan nostalgia.
The next one, the famous,
the Montreal Screwjob.
The Montreal Screwjob. If you don't know what that is, then and you're still listening to us, then you really don't know about wrestling and you just want to listen to us go into tangents. So that is Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart. One of the craziest matches before all that ends. It is a good match.
Amazing.
It is.
Right? You got really, first of all, I still remember the promos that they shot for this. Like, they got into these guys' childhood. Shawn Michaels' dream of becoming champion.
Oh, really? Wow, I don't remember that.
I still remember the promos that they shot. And then that happened. Holy. Was that the start? That wasn't the start of the Attitude Era.
It was near there, because wasn't it, if I remember the circumstances correctly, wasn't it that Bret Hart had already agreed to go to WCW, and this was his last fight on the WWF, and Vince had agreed that he could keep the belt, but then he told Shawn Michaels to take the belt because they don't want him leaving with the belt, right?
The idea was that he was going to win it and finish off on a high note, and
as a good guy,
and then come on to Monday Night Raw and give it up or something like that, and just say goodbye.
Yeah. And it was everyone agreed to it. It was previously,
And then Vince McMahon got afraid that he would take the belt to WCW, which is you can't really do. So I don't know how that.
Yeah,
that was I was you're telling me that that's not in their contract clause. If you have the belt, what the best part about this,
and also Bret Hart wasn't an asshole.
But the best part about this is that it's fake. The belt is fake.
I was just going to say, they all of a sudden, they all lost sense of reality for a moment, and they were like, he's going to take our belts and make another one. Who cares? He's going to...
Or tell him he's losing.
Or just go,
you're my employee, motherfucker.
At the same time, Bret Hart's going to WCW. Bro, he made some decisions in his life that I'm
well, he was
why?
also coming towards the end, and I think he had lost, if you got to watch... I did watch the Behind Man on this one, and I think Bret Hart had started to lose his I guess fandom, and he wanted a bigger contract, and Vince McMahon's nah,
no thank you.
That's kind of so there was a lot of things that were happening, but what I thought was hilarious, I'm but it's a fake belt. Right? All this is made up. So if Bret Hart shows up to WCW and is I have the WWF belt, that means nothing.
Yeah, that's fake.
Okay, that doesn't mean anything here.
And then Sting hits him in the head with a bat. I don't know.
Things are only worth something if you believe it. So why why is that a big thing?
Great, bro. That means nothing.
So that happened in 1997.
Was it
that happened in 1997?
Was he afraid that he was going to take his gold?
I don't know. It's a good
I'm
question.
not really sure.
So that
you said that was 97.
That was 97 at Survivor Series.
So that was right around the time the Attitude Era was going to start.
I mean, I'm going to say it passes the nostalgia test. It starts one of the best eras. It starts
it's a great match.
It was a good match too. And also, if you think about the fact that
basically then.
Yeah. And also, you think about it, it's actually Bret Hart doesn't know he's gonna lose, so it's actually a real match.
It's amazing.
It's
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's true.
I love it.
Yeah, I think it passes.
And there was a great during that era too. They talked about Steve Austin versus Bret Hart, which was a great match.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Me neither.
It's a great.
Oh, I saw some clips recently.
Match.
All right, so we got Stone Cold versus Shawn Michaels, Mike Tyson referee. Now I didn't go back and watch this one, so
I watched half of it, and it was a good match. But this was kind of similar how you were just talking about how that last fight kind of ushered in the Attitude Era. This was kind of like Shawn Michaels like passing to the new guys, the torch to the new guys, because like DX had started already, I think, and Shawn Michaels like knew he had a knee injury, was going to need to go out for 6 months, so that's why they made the storyline where like I think he lost to Stone Cold in some questionable thing, but Mike Tyson was the ref, and then he got in Mike Tyson's face, and Mike Tyson decked him, so it gave them a convenient excuse to step Shawn Michaels out, and that's when like Triple H took a larger role, and like X-Pac took a larger role, and they kind of allowed those guys to step up. And Shawn Michaels came back like 6 months later, but at that point, like those guys had already established like their own personalities. They weren't just like, you know, Shawn Michaels lackeys.
Got it. That makes sense.
So I don't know if I didn't watch the whole match, so I can't say whether it passes the nostalgia test. But I'm going to say yes, just because I think of its importance to the history of that era. I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
I don't remember it, so I can't chime in here. So.
Yeah, I don't know why it sticks in my mind, but I just remember that one match.
So, 1992 Royal Rumble.
So I love it. I
watched it in 2-speed on YouTube. The commentating is amazing.
Dude, the commentating is top fucking nuts.
Macho Man jumps out of the ring and then gets thrown.
What's
and then gets
that?
Thrown back in by the Undertaker. Like Undertaker goes and grabs him and throws him in twice.
Oh, really? I didn't see that part.
Yeah.
Macho Man does not want to be there. He's like attacking. Is it Ravishing Rick Rude? I don't know who he's attacking.
No, Jake the Snake,
Jake
right?
Snake. Yeah.
Yeah, because remember he didn't the snake bite him?
He bit the model.
Didn't Jake the Snake?
That's why he went blind.
The Snake bit a lot of people.
They should have not.
He got screwed.
He went blind.
That is the worst character. Like he got screwed. It's like he has a bag with a snake in it.
Oh God!
It's like I have to do a lot of coke.
Jesus Christ!
He definitely slapped Miss Elizabeth too.
Yeah.
Oh God! But
many people did that.
So this was probably the only Royal Rumble match that I kind of remember, because I remember them mentioning, because they mentioned it so many times, that Ric Flair. It's like, oh, Ric Flair's number 3. Like that's terrible. Nobody that's like one, like no one's ever won the match like coming in from like 1 to 5. Like no one's ever won it, and like Ric Flair somehow like hangs in there. He like constantly does the move where like he holds the top rope and like tucks in.
Yeah,
like, that's his like favorite move. And then Sid and Hulk Hogan, I guess that's like the setup.
That's the beginning. I think
because like
of the,
Sid and Hulk Hogan, like Hulk Hogan pushes Sid out at the end of it.
Yeah,
because
that's in '92. So in WrestleMania 8, they fight in WrestleMania 8.
So that's like starts
okay.
the whole like.
That's where the rivalry started.
Yeah, but Ric Flair constantly face planting. He's getting his ass kicked the entire time.
He's selling
He's just
it,
so
hard,
hilarious, so hilarious. The again, like the commentating is so great. Like the fact that some of these guys get eliminated, you're like, how is this possible?
I'll say this about this match: it is a perfect showing of the golden era. Like, all the characters that you're like, what? These are the people that are in this? Like,
this
guy,
like
hurricane, earthquake. Like, you're just like, holy cow. So, yeah.
Hurricane, earthquake, 2 fat guys that were driving trucks, so we decided to throw a leotard on, put in the ring. Like, what the fuck?
It's so good.
Oh, my God. The model Rick Martel was in this one.
Oh, God.
Roddy Piper, the British Bulldog, like, these guys, the Undertaker again, like, you know, looking at like old school Undertaker. The fact that it took him 1,000,000 years to walk down to the ring, though, that was the best.
It was amazing.
I love it. I love it. It's just like walking down to the ring.
Just chilling.
It takes like 2 minutes for the next wrestler to come. I think it took 2 minutes for Undertaker to get there. So
that's amazing.
Oh my God! But Ric Flair winning that, I mean, and he won the championship, right?
Yeah.
That was the whole deal.
That's
amazing. So, I mean, I'm going to say it passes the nostalgia test. I think without the commentating, though, it definitely would have been hard to watch.
Okay.
The commentating the golden era made it. I'm going to say it's just nostalgic for me.
Nostalgic.
I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched parts of it. But I can't, take that with a grain of salt.
Nostalgic. I can't say that it passes because, I mean, Royal Rumble matches don't really, they don't stick to my brain at all. Like, there hasn't been one.
I'm with you.
Just like, oh my God, the craziest things. Like, that was just a ridiculous showing.
I just saw it almost like lesser Royal Rumble and Ric Flair versus the whole Federation.
Okay. I like
That's fair.
All right. So, last one on the list.
So we have.
Ooh, this one's considered. This is considered one of the best.
WrestleMania 25. Yeah. Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker.
Ooh.
I rewatched it.
And Hell in the Cell. There's two different matches.
And Hell in the Cell.
Two different matches.
Yeah.
Isn't one of them Shawn Michaels' retirement match? Is the second one?
I think the Hell in the Cell was his retirement match.
Are you saying
one of them was, right?
The WrestleMania match that was the Hell in the Cell?
No. There's a WrestleMania match and then there's a Hell in the Cell. I think WrestleMania match came first.
I think the Hell in the Cell match is considered one of the best matches. So I think it was one of the first matches.
It was the first
that you saw that way, which I believe passes the test.
I would agree. I didn't watch that one for this, but I've seen that in the last year with some of the documentary I was watching. It was ridiculous.
Crazy because and that's why they said the Mankind one was insane because how do you top Shawn Michaels' performance?
Yeah, by doing what they did
and how they did what they did there. So yeah, and then the WrestleMania one, Shawn Michaels and Undertaker had some great matches, and what I'm upset about with what WWE did to Undertaker is why did you need him to lose to Brock Lesnar? Or was it Brock Lesnar?
Yeah,
I think it was.
I think so.
Couldn't you just keep him undefeated? He could have gone on the
fuck Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, he could have gone undefeated at WrestleMania.
Yeah, at WrestleMania. Yeah, they wanted to pass the torch, but Brock Lesnar was already a huge superstar. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, and Brock Lesnar, that's the one that he would lose to. It's so stupid.
Guy sucks.
Stupid because I would pass it if you're gonna pass it. You got to pass it to someone who's stood the test of time because you're talking about Undertaker. The guy's been there since the golden era.
Yeah, if they were hey, The Rock wants to come back and fight. Okay, cool. Great.
But you couldn't find a younger person or someone who's been there for that long or started in the Attitude Era and is now is going through the generation and getting older. You had to give it to Brock. Come on.
Or just let The Undertaker have a winning streak that's undefeated.
That's it.
What's the point?
No.
So
have him fight some mid-level guy,
Yeah.
It was stupid. Or they should.
This match. Yeah.
No,
okay.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the match that he had at WrestleMania with Shawn Michaels. The Hell in the Cell is really good, but the match at WrestleMania was
it's even better.
Ridiculous. It was like the Stone Cold Rock match where they each were doing their finishing moves over and over and over.
It was absurd. I think he got tombstone. Shawn Michaels got tombstone 3 times.
Yeah. Actually, I want to show you guys a clip from that match because I want to know if this is an actual move or they fucked up here. So let me just because this part, this is you see this?
I see. Dan is staring at the screen. Yeah.
Now I see it.
Okay.
Oh, you can see it. Okay, here we go. Ready? Here we go.
Oh my God! Did he just toss him? Wait, taste that again. Do it again.
Dude, that's fucking terrible. Do it again. Oh my gosh. That can't be deliberate. It seems like he just missed.
Oh my God. Stop.
Here we go. Ready? Show my. He can't even get up on the rope.
He's so tired. Oh my God. I think I gotta say that it might be real, that he's helping him finish because it's better for him to fall a certain way. I think
God, it's so bad.
Now, in the same match, The Undertaker jumps over the ropes, right? And Shawn Michaels pulls the camera guy in front of him, and he pummels that guy.
Find that clip.
Dude,
Oh my god, that was ridiculous.
The worst people to be is the Spanish commentators. Their table gets destroyed all the time.
Every time.
Well, what was great was The Rock in the Stone Cold match. The Rock made sure to just walk over to the regular table and just without a move himself pushed down on it and destroyed it. They had to stand like the whole time.
I watched some fights today. I don't know when it was, but like it was the main event and one of the tables was previously destroyed from like a previous event.
Dude, the best right there.
Spanish commentators.
Look, he's like whispering to him like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?"
Yeah. Here we go. Ready? Watch this.
I love that there's refs because the refs do nothing. The refs are.
Did you say fuck you?
The refs are all like communicators.
Watch this.
Oh god. Oh.
I hope that was not just some random fucking guy. I really hope that was planned out, because if not, like,
I hope that was like a stunt guy. It's like, all right, I'm gonna get in the way of a 400-pound muscled man.
It was just some regular
one of the best matches.
He's like, shoop.
Yeah.
This was one of the best matches I ever saw.
Yeah,
really, I think it's on the top of my list almost. Like, I know Hell in a Cell and with Mankind stuff, but like, there was something that these two idiots were doing that was so crazy. The fact that when I saw Shawn Michaels just get pushed down to the ground from like up, and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. And even
that was a good fight.
The best technical wrestler. The Undertaker's willing to jump out of the ring. Just whatever.
Just to take out a cameraman.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Oh
I would say that passes the test.
I think it definitely does.
That and the Hell in the Cell does. Now,
both of them.
All right.
If we're going to say which one of these matches, are we trying to see which one's the best one? Like,
each vote for our best all time out of these?
I could tell you the one I think about the most is Shane versus Kurt.
I'm going to put my vote in for the Shawn Michaels Undertaker WrestleMania match.
And I'm going to go with Rock versus Stone Cold.
Yeah, I mean, I will say after watching it again, it is a really great match. But like, if I want to be honest, like, if I'm thinking about wrestling and I think about like a match that I'm always thinking about, it's that match, which is crazy because like I don't necessarily think like Kurt Angle's like the greatest, but like it was just such a great match.
Yeah.
So it's funny you just made that comment that if you think about wrestling, if I think about wrestling and an all-time great match, it's weird. My mind does not go to what I just voted for, The Rock, Stone Cold. It goes to one of the nostalgic fights, even though I know, like, now in retrospect, it's like if you think like, oh, what's an alternate, right? You're like, Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior, but then you watch it, you know it sucks. Yeah. But I don't know why. It's just still my brain is still like, if someone asks like right away, like my brain goes there without like thinking about it.
That's funny.
It's weird.
I'm actually glad that I rewatched this Shawn Michaels Undertaker match because I'm just like,
it's a good match, dude.
I'm going to be thinking about that because that match is sick.
Did you guys have the like action figures and everything? You did, Billy.
Oh hell yeah, yeah, definitely, bro.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, where they have like the T on the back that you'd press down, they jump.
Yeah. Good time. The ring.
Dude, they were awesome, dude. My nephew has now. The fucking things are expensive, dude. They're like $20 a figure. I'm like, get the hell out of here.
Joe Dazzo has a whole like basement filled with it. Like,
dude, his toy room is absurd.
Amazing. I want to do a podcast with Joe Dazzo in his basement.
Joe Dazzo, you're supposed to be on this episode. I DM'd you. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah,
calling you out, bro.
There you go.
So there we go. All right. It's funny that none of us voted for The Undertaker, Mankind, Hell in a Cell, considering it was like one of those matches that is
it's still really good.
About,
I mean, all these were really good, not except for
it's a hard vote,
but like I was just, I'm being honest of what I think about when I think about wrestling or a great wrestling match, and that's one of the ones that stick out. There's another one. It was a Stone Cold match with The Rock, but I don't know which one. But that did stand out for me, but it wasn't like that much. So.
Yeah. All right, so we finally got to the last one. The all-around best wrestler. Fuck that. I mean,
all around. You're talking.
We have
promo, agility, technician.
Favorite
wrestler to watch.
Entrance. So we have on the list we have right now, and we can add more if you want, whatever. If there's someone on here, add who you want. Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, The Rock, Macho Man, Hogan, Jeff Hardy's down there. I mean, we'll put. I want to put Stone Cold on there. Did I? Maybe I did.
I may put that in there.
Okay,
I don't know.
Just because
I feel like more because he's got to be in the conversation, like just on accomplishments.
Yeah. Okay, because you're talking about the top wrestlers of all time. So Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart,
I don't think he is,
Macho
but
Man, Hogan, Jeff Hardy.
No, we could put Stone Cold in there.
Cold.
I don't mind because the list was.
I definitely think Stone Cold should be in there.
Mm-hmm. Now look, I'm putting my vote in right away for Shawn Michaels because Shawn Michaels did the first ladder match ever, Razor Ramon. He did the first Hell in a Cell, right? I mean,
that's true.
He
That's true.
Was yes, he screwed Bret Hart. They were young. What are you gonna do? But he also did the thing that Stone Cold went on to do, which was he wasn't a heel. He was a heel, but he's also but he's this guy that everyone just liked no matter what because he put on a show.
It's funny you say that because he was basically a heel all the time, but you liked him.
Yeah, exactly, because he was fucking hilarious.
He was a great
so good
wrestler.
Yeah.
So and he did pretty good job at talking. Although I would say, The Rock. I mean, we already talked about best promo guy. Macho Man wasn't. He was more of a high flying wrestler in the golden age. I would say Macho Man was probably a better wrestler than Hulk Hogan.
100%. I would agree with that.
Constantly,
it's entertaining in the ring. Yeah, he's a better athlete.
I mean, he would go to the top of the ring and that elbow, right? He was the elbow guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a guy fucking jumped off the rope just to get to Jake the Snake at the Royal Rumble. Hogan, I guess you could say because of his accomplishments, what he did for wrestling, but what did he?
He was just the face of the W.
Yeah.
I feel like he's for or worse. I feel like he's the face of the classic era.
Yes.
Yeah.
There may be people that we liked more, but for to the external public, Hulk Hogan is the face of the classic era.
Yes.
Yeah, he couldn't transcend like Shawn Michaels did. Shawn Michaels was able to go from era to era and then still
Hulk Hogan,
come out on top.
Hulk Hogan couldn't play the heel. And he couldn't stay relevant as the good guy. So to me, then you're not that great of a showman because why couldn't he figure out how to stay good and still be like Undertaker did it? Shawn Michaels did it. So
I mean, I would honorable mention Undertaker as well, just because
I agree.
I mean, the man had one of the longest careers of all time.
Definitely
agreed. Pico, I'm gonna have to second your vote, man. I think all the criteria that we said, most entertaining, best in the ring. I think Shawn Michaels, while he may not, you can make the argument that he's not the best at any one of those. I think he is the highest across the board compared to all these guys. His fights are entertaining. He's entertaining outside of the ring. He did that whole thing where he was a heel asshole, but one you loved. So, he may not have been, the best promos like we talked about, but his promos are awesome. So I just feel like he checks all the boxes across the board, whereas other guys are so lacking in one area that it takes them out of the all-time best conversation. So I think I have to second the Shawn Michaels one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really the athletic ability in the ring, man. It's that changed the game with him.
Oh,
so you would put, let's say you're putting him against The Rock.
As all time?
Yeah.
I'm putting Shawn.
Are you putting him
going
all the
Shawn
way?
Michaels.
You're saying with your that criteria, he beats The Rock even. Because I think.
Yeah,
right.
because I mean, The Rock is good.
I think it's close, though, man. It's close.
It's very close.
I mean, look, would The Rock do this?
Bro, I gotta.
Also, The Rock did not come out to "Sexy Boy."
Yeah.
No, he didn't sing his own. Well, he said one thing in his own song, but he didn't sing his own song.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't put someone through a glass mirror. He didn't. But I'm going Shawn Michaels. I mean, he's the greatest wrestler.
I'm with you, man.
Time, in my opinion.
I think
you need to watch the documentary.
I think I'm going to say yes.
I have
to that. I have to agree.
Wow,
Shawn Michaels.
Do we really have a consensus on this topic? That's pretty crazy.
No, I mean he was my favorite like wrestlers to watch.
Oh, he's great, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, he was so good.
I just
was so great.
Wow.
No,
I don't think so. It's a little too much.
But I do remember the
maybe
time
Halloween
that
party.
He came in like a he came in. His entrance was he was over the crowd with a fucking zip line.
Oh,
and it was
God,
insane.
I remember that. Yeah,
it was insane.
Yeah,
and again, you were saying like, about his promos. His promos wasn't like like The Rock can like talk a lot and like scream. Like and do a lot of like one-offs like very quick. He was more of like a showman.
Yeah.
And like just even how he moved and made fun of you just like physically. He knew how to like
it was great.
His physical I don't want to say physical comedy, but his physical promos were great. Cuz that's why DX was great cuz it was all just like it was all action. God. It wasn't talk.
Yep.
They were like children.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
They like brought like child's play into the WWE.
So. It was great, man. Wow. How do we end on a consensus? What are the chances?
End on a consensus.
Yeah.
People, the end of this is, I feel like we're going to get a lot of like flack for this podcast from the 15 people that listen.
Good.
But
it's a very subjective topic, man.
Yeah, and you know what? If you're better than us at this, then you're better than us at this, and you know more things. I mean, who cares? Because I'll tell you this: I want to do another episode of like wrestling toys. Wrestling.
I'm ready to go.
Pass the test. The wrestling ice cream bar. Did it pass the test? Have you had the wrestling ice cream bar?
Shit! I forgot about those.
Dude.
No, I have not. Yeah. I forgot about those, man. Shit. How about Wrestling Buddies? Do those pass the test? Do I still want to body slam that now?
So amazing.
That pillow was made of nothing.
It really wasn't.
Nothing.
It was cheap crap.
Nothing. But this was so much fun.
Oh, hell yeah.
This was so great. I think, we can have like 12 more of these episodes. But always an amazing time having you on, Bill.
Thanks for having me, guys, man. It's always great to chat with you guys, no matter what the hell we're talking about. So just go down these tangents. I love it, dude.
Oh my God! I mean, this is
destroy
classic.
Jake Gyllenhaal's.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, we're coming, and everyone out there, we got to stop the reboot of Roadhouse.
Do it, and
not my Dalton.
Not my
hashtag. Not my Dalton.
We're gonna kill it. We're gonna kill that that show in an episode.
I don't understand how they're gonna make it better. They have to.
They're not.
It all
they're
depends
not.
on who's directing it.
It doesn't matter. There's no Patrick Swayze. It's done.
The only way they can make it better is this: if the two directors that made Crank get back together and they direct the new Roadhouse, then that's fine.
I forgot about that movie. That's a good movie in a bad way.
That movie is so great. Oh, we gotta do Crank.
Ridiculous.
We gotta do Crank. Yeah. Crank is fucking crazy.
Didn't they make a sequel to it too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Crank 2.
Yeah, he's like, you need to keep your heart rate up, and it's the chick from Road Trip. What's her name? The blonde chick, and he just starts banging his girlfriend in public to like keep his heart rate going.
So weird.
It's
and then they show like a horse's like, then they show like there's like a big shot of like a horse's dick in there. It's like that.
So weird, dude.
Insane.
Yeah, it's very crazy.
People, oh my God! Well, this is epic, everyone. We're so glad to be back. 2023 started out so good.
Woo!
Everybody, tell us what you think.
Woo!
Give us share your opinions.
It doesn't matter what you think.
We're the best podcast out there. Just deal with it. The Nostalgia Test podcast is coming. NostalgiaTestPodcast.com, at the Nostalgia Test on Twitter. On Instagram and TikTok at Nostalgia Test on Twitter. People, get in touch with us. We're doing this all year. We're coming for you.
Live episodes coming.
Live episodes coming. Everyone, peace, Billy.
Later.
Peace.
Wow, people. That was it. That's the end. 3 episodes, WWE. We went into it, and I feel like we could have gone just for hours longer, but like you could tell by the end, we were just fatigued. It was crazy. But we're looking forward to doing more big episodes. We're looking forward to live episodes. A lot of new things coming out with the Nostalgia Test podcast, but definitely, like we said at the end of the episode, stop the reboot. Hashtag not my Dalton. Everyone get it out there. Not my Dalton. Hashtag not my Dalton. We're not doing this, Jake Gyllenhaal. No Roadhouse reboots. Come on. Everyone, if you didn't hear part 1 and 2 of this amazing 3-part series, go back to episode 88 and episode 89 to listen to us go even and go into other things on the WWE. Thanks again to Billy. We're looking forward to this year. Everyone, check us out, Nostalgia Test Podcast.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. Please subscribe to the Nostalgia Test Podcast to know when new episodes drop. Don't forget to leave us 5 stars and a positive review so more people can find the podcast. Share your thoughts and memories on today's topic on our Twitter at Nostalgia Test and on Instagram at The Nostalgia Test. Tune in next time because you never know what pop culture will pop up on The Nostalgia Test.